There's a world outside of Yonkers, way out there beyond this hick town, Barnaby. There's a slick town, Barnaby, out there full of shine and full of sparkle. Close your eyes and see it glisten, Barnaby. Listen, Barnaby. Put on your Sunday clothes, there's lots of world out there. Get out the brilliantine and dime cigars. We're gonna find adventure in the evening air. Girls in white in a perfume night where the lights are bright as the stars. Put on your Sunday clothes, we're gonna ride through town in one of those new horse-drawn open cars. We'll see the shows at Delmonico's and we'll close the town in a whirl. But we won't come home until we've kissed a girl. Put on your Sunday clothes when you feel down and out. Strut down the street and have your picture took. Dressed like a dream, your spirits seem to turn about. That Sunday shine is a certain sign that you feel as fine as you look. Beneath the parasol, the world is all a smile that makes you feel brand new down to your toes. Get out your feathers, your patent leathers, your beads, your buckles and bows, for there's no Blue Monday, ain't no Sunday clothes. Put on your Sunday clothes, there's lots of world up there. Put on your silk cravat and patent shoes. We're gonna feel adventure in the evening air. To town we'll trot with a smoky spot where the girls are hot as a fuse. Put on your silk high hat and at your turned up cuff you'll wear a handmade gray suede button glove. We'll join the Astors at Tony Pastor's, and this I'm positive of. No, we won't come home. No, we won't come home. We won't come home until we fall in love. Billy's Place, the vibe is light and breezy. Billy's Place, it's a virtual speakeasy. My home base, I'm glad that you dropped by. Time to grab a libation from the shelf. Have whatever you want, make it yourself. Sit back, relax, I'll make your troubles fly. A musical trip, nothing complicated, and if you tip, that's appreciated. Good fellowship with no mask on our face. Finally, from apartment 5 across the park, I'm singing and swinging till it gets dark. Don't worry about finding a place to park, just park it at Billy's Place. Park it at Billy's Place. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's July 1st. Okay, what happened to this year? It's gone by so fast. We are halfway through the year. Unbelievable. Episode 54 of Billy's Place. I'm your host, Billy Stritch. Tonight, spotlighting the music of one of the great songwriters of Broadway history, the great Jerry Herman. Nobody better than that. So sit back and relax. I'm gonna sing some great songs for you. Park it at Billy's Place. So the first one was from Hello Dolly, and this one you'll know where it's from. You know, 3 guesses and the first 2 don't count. You coax the blues ooze right out of the horn. Mame, you charm the husk right off of the corn. Mame, you've got the banjo strumming and plunking out a tune to beat the band. The whole plantation's humming since you brought Dixie back to Dixieland. You make our cotton easy to pick. Mame, you give my old mid-julep a kick. Mame, you make the old magnolia tree blossom at the mention of your name. You made us feel alive again. You've given us the drive again to make the South revive again, babe. You brought the cakewalk back into style. Mame, you make the weeping willow tree smile. Mame, your skin is Dixie satin. There's rebel in your manner and your speech. You may be from Manhattan, but Georgia never had a sweeter peach. You make our black-eyed peas and our grits, oh, Mame, seem like the bill of fare at the Ritz. Mame, you came, you saw, you conquered, and absolutely nothing is the same. Your special fascinational proved to be inspirational. We think you're just sensational. Mame, 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 Mame. Big high note. Mame. I hear it in my head. Mame. That is so much fun. God, that takes me right back to hi, everybody. It's Billy Stritch. It's July 1st. I think I said that in the little bump in. That takes me right back to when I was 10 years old, and truly about the first theatrical experience, the piece of theater that I saw that really embedded itself in my brain was Ginger Rogers as Mame at the Houston Music Theater, which is still there. It's called the Arena Theater now in Houston, but it's in the Round. And so that was fantastic to see it in the Round. And, you know, you could see her from every angle and coming down the aisle. And, oh, my God, just, you know, I knew who she was. I mean, I knew who Fred and Ginger was already. And she walked down that aisle right next to where I was, and that was a star. I mean, the makeup, everything, it was just fantastic. I don't think I blinked one time, and I remember what was so cool, and Carol Channing used to do this too, I found out a couple years later. At the end of the show, the company bows, everybody takes the bow. She comes out for her bow, and then she quiets the crowd. And she made this speech to all the wonderful people in Houston. And thank you so much, and what it meant to her that she was back in Texas, and that we were all there to see her, and made us all feel very special. Now, I'm sure she did that after every performance. And Carol Channing used to do that too. Hello, people of Houston and environs. That was always her shtick. 4 years later, when I was 15, I saw Carol Channing in Houston in Hello, Dolly. It was the very beginning of a new tour that was going out. So I think it was 1977. And it was based on the original with the Gower Champion direction and choreography. And Leroy Reams was in it. I remember, I didn't know him yet, but I remember that he was in it. And that show toured around. I think it maybe came back to Broadway, I think, for a little while. And then in 1993, the last time around on Broadway, I remembered that very well. I think it was at the Lunt-Fontanne Theater, going to see Carol Channing do Dolly one more time. And it was fantastic. How much do we love Jerry Herman's music? So much that I'm going to have a drink right now. This is a Moscow Mule, everybody, in that beautiful copper mug. Doug chilled these up right before the show, so it's nice and icy cold. How are you doing over there, Doug?
Good.
He's good. He's got his Sour Patch Kids, so he's happy.
Like Carol Channing.
Say, he's okay. So we're drinking Moscow Mules. No, I can't do Carol Channing. That's not, well, he said do it like Carol Channing. So here's my mule. All right, that is tasty. That is tasty. Whatever you're drinking, I hope you're enjoying it. That's very refreshing for the summer. Anyway, so how much do we love Jerry Herman's music? I mean, those songs stay with you. He knew how to write a melody and a lyric to match. You know, just fantastic music. And it really sticks with you. The hummable melody, the antithesis of some of the things that we hear now that we like as well. But it's so old school and so great and just so perfect. And it's really the golden age of Broadway to me, Jerry Herman. He wrote some hit shows, but also some shows that weren't big hits. One of them was a show called Dear World, and it starred Angela Lansbury, and it did not run for a long time. And I never had a chance to see that show until about, I want to say it was maybe 7 years ago. I was in London doing, with Liza, we were doing shows in the UK and Europe, and I think we had performed at, was it Royal Festival Hall, I think, and anyway, we had a day or two off in London, and so I always like to go see shows, and I saw playing, you know, off the West End in a theater I wasn't familiar with, Betty Buckley in Dear World. And I know Betty Buckley, not really, really well then, but I thought, I'm going to go see that. I'm going to buy a ticket. And that's what I did. My friend Alex Haas was with me. The two of us went to see it. And then we ran into two friends of ours, Michael Caprio and his, oh God, I'm just blanking out on his husband's name. Oh God, I hope you're not watching. Oh, it's going to come to me any second. They were in the audience. They're friends of Betty's. We're going to go backstage. Come backstage. Randy, thank you, Randy Slovacek. Okay, I knew it was going to come. We go backstage. Betty Buckley sees me. Hello, we're all going to dinner at the Ivy. Come along. So about a dozen of us had a wonderful dinner that night. I digress. Anyway, Dear World has some wonderful songs, one of which I'm not doing tonight called I Don't Want to Know. But this is a gorgeous ballad that I got a few requests for, and I've sung this. I used to sing this years ago, and it's called Kiss Her Now. Before you have remember what her smile was like, before you have recalled the day you found her, kiss her now while she's young, kiss her now while she's yours, kiss her now while she needs your arms around her. For if you let a moment come between you now, it soon becomes a day, a year, a lifetime. Blink your eye, turn your head, and you've lost her. And you'll spend half your life wondering how. So before you forget how you loved her, kiss her now, kiss her now. Kiss her now while she needs your arms around her. For if you let a moment come between you now, it soon becomes a day, a year, a lifetime. Blink your eye, turn your head, and you've lost her. And you'll spend half your life wondering how. Kiss her now, kiss her now, kiss her now. From Dear World, Kiss Her Now. Dramatic. Ooh, he could really get in there deep and write a serious love song about a serious emotion. Oh, so I kind of breezed past the stuff I usually say every week, which is basically, please visit my webpage, my website. All the links to the merchandise are there. We have great Billy's Place merchandise, including the CD. It is all there. And my live dates are coming back, and we're slowly feeding them onto the website as well. If you're watching on Facebook, I assume you are, go below the screen and hit the share button. Share that with all of your friends who are watching. And also encourage your friends, and also yourself if you haven't done it, to visit my YouTube channel, Billy Stritch, and subscribe. I want to get those numbers bumped up. Okay, those are the 4 things, plus the tipping. You guys, the tipping is, if you tip, that's appreciated. I mean, thank you so much. You've all been so generous and wonderful this past 14, 15 months, and it really has sustained us. So if you're able to give 20, 30, 10, 50, 1,000, whatever you can see fit, it all adds up. And it'll take care of the lights, the camera, the lights, the setup, everything. And we have spent some money lately to upgrade it and keep it nice for you. You can do that on PayPal or on Venmo. And my handles on both are on the screen. PayPal is bstritch@yahoo.com. And Venmo is @Billy-Stritch, STRITCH. And if you don't want to do the Venmo or PayPal, you can send me a check. Write me on Messenger, Facebook Messenger, and I'll send you the address. Okay, I think I said everything, right?
What about the WIC?
Oh, yeah, the WIC Theater. Well, I was going to mention it later, but I'll mention it twice. I think it's good. I'm going to be with my friend Clint Holmes next weekend at the WIC Theater. I worked there twice this year. It's gorgeous in Boca Raton, Florida. I did my solo show there, and then Clint and I are taking our Nat King Cole show that we did several times at Birdland, also in LA and Las Vegas and San Francisco. And we won awards. We won the Broadway World Award. We're doing the show at the WIC Theater next weekend. I'll mention it again at the end of the show. So first trip to New York that I took was 1981. It was the summer that I was 19. I had worked that whole summer in a piano bar, a very nice kind of upscale restaurant and piano bar in Houston all summer. And one night, when it was, we had the tip jar, the little brandy snifter. One night a guy comes in and requests pennies from heaven. Okay, so I play it, and he flips $100 bill in the tip jar. Oh, that doesn't happen very much. It still doesn't happen very often. Certainly didn't then. Okay, and I know nobody really sees it. People sitting around. About 20 minutes later, he comes by. He's had another drink. Pennies from heaven. Sure, play it again. Another 100. Waitress sees it. Her eyes get really big. Everything. People start to notice this. Anyway, I could drag this story out a long time, but I'm not. By the end of the night, he had requested it 9 times, and I put $900 in the tip jar. And the next day, I went and I bought my trip to New York. I bought a hotel room at the Sheraton City Squire, which is down on 7th and 53rd. It's a Sheraton something now. And I bought tickets to 8 shows and everything. And this was one of the shows that I saw. It was August of 81. And I saw this little show. It was at the Royale Theater. And I was charmed by it. It had a cast of like 6 or 7 people. It was called A Day in the Hollywood, A Night in the Ukraine. Still one of my favorite little shows. And the first half takes place in the forecourt of the Grauman's Chinese Theater. It's 6 ushers and usherettes. The second half is takeoff on a Marx Brothers movie. You know all this. But this is the beginning of Act 1. Follow me down the aisle of the Grauman's Chinese Theater, a colossal architectural sensation. from the plush of your seat in the Grauman's Chinese Theater. Life can be as plush as your imagination. So if pure entertainment's your style, follow me, I have two on the aisle. Need to relax, need to escape. Go see Fay Ray in the palm of an ape. Watch Errol Flynn shooting his bow. Just go to the movies, just go to a picture show. Oh, when your morale needs some repairs, watch Busby's Beauties descending the stairs. Hundreds of girls doing high kicks. Just go to the movies, just go to the flicks. And all for the sum of a quarter. Life is peachy. You can become Alice Faye or Donna Michi. Swamped with your bills, late with your rent. Watch Betty Davis run out on George Brent. See Fred Astaire stepping in style when everything's dark and upset. Go calling on Clark and Claudette. Just go to a marvelous movie and smile. Girls in sarongs, monsters in capes. See Scarlett make a dress out of the drapes. Life can be grand from the third row. Just go to the movies, just go to a picture show. Oh, Cooper and Wings, Crawford and Rain. See Tarzan beat his chest when he meets Jane. Sing with Dick Powell, ride with Tom Mix. Just go to the movies, just go to the flicks. Vicariously, you are flying down to Rio. Share the marquee with Mrs. Marx's zany trio. So when your life seems a bit lean, just let some shadows appear on the screen. Shine like a star for a brief while. Whenever you're down in the dumps, trying on Judy's red pumps. Just go to a marvelous movie and smile. Like a star for a brief while. Whenever you're down in the dumps, try putting on Judy's red pumps and visit a gun-toting Sharpie, a moth-eaten harpy, a dangerous beauty, a cupid or cutie, an ancient high llama, a high-stepping mama. Just go to the movies and smile. I love that song. I mean, he sums it up, and it's perfectly set the pace for that show. Once they sang that, I was hooked. So great. Another show that this one I really never, ever got to see. It didn't run very long in New York, and it gets revived a lot. It's been done. People love this score so much, and so do I. And I think they were planning on doing it at Encores, but then the COVID happened, so maybe that will happen at some point. Anyway, it's a show called Mack and Mabel, about Mabel Normand and Mack Sennett. It was Robert Preston and Bernadette Peters on Broadway. And here are two really, really gorgeous ballads. The first one is the one that Bernadette sings as Mabel Normand, and then the second one Robert Preston sang as Mack Sennett. Everything, Tuesday, Thursday, time heals everything, April, August, If I'm patient, the break will mend, and one fine morning the hurt will end. So make the moments fly, autumn, winter. I'll forget you by next year, some year. Though it's hell that I'm going through, some Tuesday, Thursday, April, August, autumn, winter, next year, some year. Time heals everything. Time heals everything but loving you. I won't send roses or hold the door. I won't remember which dress you wore. My heart is too much in control. The lack of romance in my soul will turn you gray, kid. So stay away, kid. Forget my shoulder when you're in need. Forgetting birthdays is guaranteed. And should I love you, you would be the last to know. I won't send roses, and roses suit you so. My pace is frantic, my temper's cross with words romantic. I'm at a loss. I'd be the first one to agree that I'm preoccupied with me, and it's inbred, kid. So keep your head, kid. In me you'll find things like guts and nerve, but not the kind things that you deserve. And so while there's a fighting chance, just turn and go. I won't send roses, and roses suit you so. Oh, those songs kill me. That whole score, it's just fantastic. I take it if you're watching me and you're watching this show, you have some passing familiarity with these shows. I mean, they are such a part of our growing up, and especially if you're into the theater, it's like everyone does Hello Dolly or Mame or someplace. I mean, we've heard this music all of our life. On one of my second or third trips back to New York, I think maybe I worked here a couple times by then. Must have been probably 83 or 84. I saw La Cage aux Folles at the Palace Theater, as I recall. I think. I might have that wrong. I may really be wrong, actually, about all of that. Actually, when was La Cage? I think it was later than that. I think I'm thinking of something else. Forget I said any of that. It's a wonderful show, and I think at that point I saw Van Johnson, and I forget who played opposite. It's my memory. Someone's gonna let me know who I saw. Anyway, here. What? No, maybe Todd Lattimore. That's right. We saw the revival with who was in that? Kelsey Grammer and Chris. Oh, Douglas Hodge. We didn't see Chris Sieber in it though, didn't we? He went into it with Harvey Firestein, right?
I went without you to the previous one with Robert Goulet. I got to see Robert Goulet.
You saw Robert Goulet and Gary Beach, right? That was the production before that. It's been revived a lot. Todd Lattimore, shout out to you because we saw you in that show, that last revival. Anyway, this is a couple of songs from La Cage aux Folles. Let's see. All right. Do you recall that windy day, little beach we walked along, the afternoon in fall, the afternoon we met, a fellow with a concertina sang, what was the song? It's strange what we recall, and odd what we forget. I heard as we walked on the sand. I heard la da da da. I believe it was early September. Through the crash of the waves, I could tell that the words were romantic. Something about sharing, something about always. Though the years race along, I still think of our song on the sand. And I still try to search for the words I can barely remember. Though the time tumbles by, there is one thing that I am forever certain of. I hear la da 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 da, and I'm young and in love. Something about sharing, something about always. Though the years race along, I still think of our song on the sand. And I still try and search for the words I can hardly remember. Though the time tumbles by, there is one thing that I am forever certain of. I hear la da 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 da, and I'm young and in love. It's rather gaudy, but it's also rather grand. And while the waiter pats your check, he'll kiss your hand. The clever gigolos romance the wealthy matrons at La Cage aux Folles. It's slightly 40s and a little bit new wave. You may be dancing with a girl who needs a shave, where both the riffraff and the royalty are patrons at La Cage aux Folles. La Cage aux Folles. The maitre d' is dashing, Cage aux Folles. The hatchet girl is flashing. We import the drinks that you buy, so your Perrier is Canada Dry. Eccentric couples always punctuate the scene. A pair of eunuchs and a nun with a marine. To feel alive, you get a limousine to drive you to La Cage aux Folles. It's bad and beautiful and bawdy and bizarre. I know a duchess who got pregnant at the bar. Just who is who and what is quite the question at La Cage aux Folles. La Cage aux Folles, a Saint-Tropez tradition. Cage aux Folles, you'll lose each inhibition all week long. We're wondering who left a green Givenchy gown in the loo. Go for the mystery, the magic, and the mood. Avoid the hustlers and the men's room and the food, for you get glamour and romance and indigestion at La Cage aux Folles. You go alone to have the meek evening of your life. You meet your mistress and your boyfriend and your wife. It's a bonanza, it's a mad extravaganza at La Cage aux Folles. A Saint-Tropez tradition, Cage aux Folles. You'll lose each inhibition. We indulge each changing your mood. Come and sip your Dubonnet in the nude. You cross the threshold and your bridges have been burned. The bar is cheering for the Duchess has returned. The mood's contagious. You can bring your whole outrageous entourage. La Cage aux Folles. That's how you say it when you're from Texas. Anyway, that was, I feel like it was the 80s when I saw that show, and it was at the Palace maybe after 42nd Street moved. I don't know. That's what I was thinking of when I was singing that song.
She saw it at the Palace.
Yeah, the Palace, right? Because here's what I remember, sitting in that really wide, it's a very wide theater, the orchestras where you sit. And I remember when they started singing The Best of Times and everybody started singing along. I remember looking around and it was like a sea of faces, all knowing that song. I mean, it was crazy. It was the first time I'd ever seen an audience sing along to a Broadway show. And it's not like they're actually asked to, but they just sing along because they all knew it. Anyway, that's what I have, that visual memory, and I have the memory of all the cagelles. It was pretty stunning to look at. I have to go back and actually remember who I saw, but I was flabbergasted by the whole design of it. Okay, back to Hello Dolly. Oh, first off, did you share the show with all your friends? Did you push that button? Come on. And if you're able to tip, send us a gratuity. We are greatly appreciative. Birdland tonight, July 1st, is open for the first night. I'm so thrilled. And on Monday, the 5th, will be Jim Caruso and my first cast party back live. And, he's been doing it virtually, as have I. I'm going to keep doing Billy's Place as much as I can. But if you're in town on Monday, we're starting Monday nights at Birdland. And it's exciting. But Birdland is starting tonight. So I salute all of you who are there. Of course, you're not watching me if you're there, but that's okay. It's exciting. New York is coming back, baby. All right, speaking of New York, one of the most elegant places I know. From Hello Dolly. Yes, New York, it's really us Barnaby and Cornelius, all the guests of Mr. Hackle are feeling great and look spectacular. What a knack there is to that acting like a born aristocrat. We got elegance. If you ain't got elegance, you can never, ever carry it all. Well-bred agree, Minnie Fay has pedigree. Exercise your wildest whims tonight. We are out with diamond gems tonight. Could they be misleading us? Silver Silver spoons were meant for feeding us. We got elegance. If you ain't got elegance, you can never ever carry it all. A middle class, don't speak of it, savoir-faire. We reek of it. Some were born with the rags and patches, but we use dollar bills for matches. Vanderbilt kowtows to us, J.P. Morgan scrapes and bows to us. We got elegance. We were born with elegance. Have you noticed when I hold my cup, my saucer never moves? And the way I keep my pinky up indubitably proves that we got elegance. We got built-in elegance, and with elegance, 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 we'll carry it on. I love that too. That is Minnie Fay and Cornelius and Barnaby, and such a cute number. Opens up the second act of that show. I'm going to sing a nice song that I love that was added to the score of Mame when it was made into a film with Lucille Ball and Robert Preston. Lucy Mame, I think 1974 or 5. Chris Smith will tell me because he knows this for sure. But this is a gorgeous song that they wrote for Robert Preston to sing, and it's a beautiful montage, actually, of like scenes from their past and lots of Lucy. It's actually one of my favorite parts of the movie. And I paired it with a great ballad from Hello, Dolly. Snow and jasmine and the noise of New Year's Eve. Loving you is now and yesterday is real and make believe. Loving you is Rome and New Orleans and gazing at the lovely summer skies. Fireworks reflecting in your eyes, foolish and improbable and wise. And loving you is tart as lemonade and sweet as April wine. Loving you is watching all the lonely things of life combine. In your dreams, I'm all I wish I were. I'm brave, I'm strong, and I'm true. As long as I can go on living, loving you. Watching all the lovely things of life combine. In your arms I'm all I wish I were. I'm brave and I'm strong and I'm true. As long as I can go on living, loving. It only takes a moment for your eyes to meet, and then your heart knows in a moment you will never be alone. instant, but my arms felt sure and strong. It only takes a moment to be loved, oh, life long, and that is all that love's about and will recall as time runs on, that it only took a moment to be loved, oh, life long. From Hello Dolly, It Only Takes a Moment. And the first song from Mame. Jerry Herman, I'm loving singing these songs. Now, talk about an unforgettable theatrical experience. Doug and I had one. It's been 4 years ago now, right? It was 2017. It's hard to believe because it's still, I know I speak for both of it is still emblazoned on our brain. We had the chance, as so many in New York. It's one of those nights that if you weren't there, you missed it. We got to see Bette Midler in Hello Dolly at the Schubert Theater. It was fantastic. And I got to see her 3 times, and then we went back to see Bernadette Peters and Donna Murphy. We all went back to see Donna Murphy. And all 3 of them were fantastic and brought something perfectly unique and equal to the role, I have to say. But, you know, Bette Midler's Bette Midler. I mean, she's like vaudeville. You know, she's like Santa Claus. I mean, when she appeared on the stage, when you first see her, the streetcar comes out and the 2 girls drop their paper and then she drops it and it's her. You know it's going to be her. I mean, Santa Claus came to town. Exactly right. And I remember when we were watching Put On Your Sunday Clothes, the number that I opened the show with tonight. It builds so beautifully. And on the 3rd chorus, all of a sudden they're in Yonkers and the whole chorus comes out straight, put on your Sunday clothes. And everybody's wearing a different, it's like candy ice cream. It's fantastic. It's great. We've got fantastic seats for one thing. And we're both like this. I look at him, he's like this. I look at that. And at one point, right before it was over, he looked and said, I never knew there was this much color in the world. It was so great. I'll never forget. It was like 4 or 5 moments in that show. But here's a moment in the show that was added back in. This song was written in the original for Horace Vandergelder to sing. And it was cut because of where it appeared, I guess, in the show. It slowed things down. Of course, he has a big number in Act 1, It Takes a Woman. And then you really want to see Dolly again. But the producers this time around were very, very smart. They gave David Hyde Pierce, who was just fantastic as Horace, a moment right at the beginning of Act 2, very short entr'acte, no curtain. Then he just comes out in front of the curtain in one, and he sings this great story. It's Horace Vandergelder explaining how he became Yonkers' richest $500,000, most eligible, right? Okay, so I'm going to try to do it justice. This is called Penny in My Pocket. I put a penny in my pocket, and in a little time, that penny in my pocket had grown into a dime, and in a little longer, a quarter jingled out. I put the quarter in the teapot, and I waited till the teapot had $1 in the spout. I put that $1 in my mattress and had some pleasant dreams, and suddenly my mattress was bursting at the seams, and that's how I acquired the wealth I now possess. That little penny is the secret. Yes, that penny is the secret of my success. I had a penny penny in my pocket and not another sou. And with my only shirt tail, I shined a rich man's shoe. He threw me down a nickel, admiring my skill. I gave the nickel to a blind man, and the blind man left me all his meager savings in his will. I brought myself a wagon and started hauling ice. I cut the ice to ice cubes and got a higher price. I shaved the cubes to ices for still a higher fee. A big tycoon said, very enterprising in your organizing. Son, you must come work for me. En route to work next morning, I helped a lady cross. That lady was, you guessed it, the mother of the boss. The boss says, you're promoted. I need you by my side. And then I met the boss's daughter, and I wed the boss's daughter, and quite suddenly, she died. I bought myself an acre, a silo, and a steed. All Yonkers started buying grain and hay and feed. And now I've $500,000, but proudly I confess that in my penny is the pocket. No, that in my pocket is the penny. Yes, that shiny little penny. That's the penny. That's the secret of my success. Almost made it to the end. Fumbled right at the very end. That's a lot of words, Jerry Herman. Thanks for the words. I mean, he was quite a lyricist. And it's so weird because, you know, these little punchlines come in at such an odd place in the beat. So it's like if you come in a little bit too late, you know, like a big tycoon said, very enterprising in your organ, then you'll just never come out at the right time. Trust me, I know this because I worked on this song a long time. Anyway, we're winding into the home stretch. Perfect timing, I got to say. Doug, this was fun. Did you have a good time?
I did. You know who's watching?
Who?
Frank Cassira, whose birthday is today.
Who's watching? Oh, Cassira's birthday. I was hoping you said you were going to be partying today, but you're watching. I am thrilled. Happy birthday to you. Cassira was in the tour of Hello Dolly. Maybe the one, no, not the one I saw. You were in one later because you would have been, because we're the same age. You would have been too young. 15, you weren't in that one. But she has great pictures. She was on the road with Carol Channing for 2 or 3 years, I think, with a lot of our Dallas friends, Texas friends. Anyway, I'm glad you're watching tonight. Perfect tonight. Happy birthday. I love you. Cassira, your birthday. So I had a good time. I'm glad all of you watched. I'm not going to be here now. As I said before, I'm not going to be here next week on July 8th because I'm going on the road again to work with the dynamic, wonderful jazz singer Clint Holmes. We're doing a show called Straighten Up and Fly Right, a loving tribute to Nat King Cole at the Wick Theater in Boca Raton. So you guys, if you are anywhere, I actually have friends I know that live up in St. Petersburg, Jacksonville. They're coming down to see the show. Now, that's a 4 or 5 hour drive. The show's really good, though, I got to say. And it's at a beautiful theater that's just opened up. Marilyn Wick at the Wick treats you great. You can actually come have dinner at the Wick if you want to before the show, or just come to the show. But go to their website. It's thewick, WICK.org. And check out our show, which is the 8th, Thursday the 8th, Friday the 9th, Saturday the 10th. And it's Clint Holmes and me, and it's Christian Tambor and his trio. Christian is a fantastic pianist, which means I get to stand for part of the show. I don't have to be at the piano, which is fun. And also, when I'm at the piano, he goes to the vibes, and he's a magnificent vibe player. So there's a lot going on in the show. You will love it. I am looking forward to that. But I won't be here on the 8th. I'll be back on the 15th. And I think on the 22nd, probably I'm going to do another warm request, cool rosé, an excuse to do requests. So if you want to think about that, I've got a few from the last time that I didn't do. You can send those to me on Facebook Messenger. And on the 15th, I'm not sure, Doug was saying it might be a nice idea to do a show of songs that were just so popular in summertime, like big summertime hits. Was that it, right? Yeah. Not necessarily about summer, but songs that were like big summertime hits. So I'm going to, think about that too. I'm going to get my reference books out and I'm going to look for some fun songs to do for you in 2 weeks. Have a great Independence Day weekend, you guys. Be careful wherever you go. I know it's going to be crazy. Everyone's out crazy, hugging, no mask, big kisses, hugs. Just be sensible. That's all I have to say. Have a great time. I'm going to close with a little medley of 2 songs. The first one I got a lot of requests for, and it was Jerry Herman's favorite song. I understand why. I mean, it's from a show called The Grand Tour. It's a very simple song, and it's a great melody. It's a great Jerry Herman melody. When I sing the song, I actually hear, he borrows a lot from himself, the song that I'm going to sing after it. And also there's a little bit of Song on the Sand. I mean, it's like he has progressions that he revisits, but it's just wonderful sentiment. And I want to thank you. Please, if you can, donate again. Doug's going to put those addresses on the screen one more time. And I guess we said everything. I keep thinking all night there's something else I need to say, but there's...
Your mom's watching. Say hi to your mom.
Oh, my mom's watching. Hi, Jane. How are you? Oh, yeah, I know what I want to say. Hi, Mom. Do you have my CD? No, she's got my CD. But if you guys want my CD, go to my website, and I will sign it and send it to you. Okay. All right. This is my closing song, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Happy July, everyone. I'll be here tomorrow, alive and well and thriving. I'll be here tomorrow, it's simply called surviving. If before the dawn this fragile world might crack, someone's got to try to put the pieces back. So from beneath the rubble, you hear a little voice say, life is worth the trouble. Have you a better choice? So let the skeptics say, tonight we're dead and gone. I'll be here tomorrow, simply going on. What's left of summer but a faded rose? The best of times is now. As for tomorrow, well, who knows? Who knows? Who knows? So hold this moment fast and live in love as hard as you know how, and make this moment last, because the best of times is now. It's now. It's now. No, not some forgotten yesterday. Now, tomorrow is too far away. So hold this moment fast and live in love as hard as you know how, and make this moment last, because the best of times is now, is now, is now. That's easier. love as hard as you know how, and make this moment last, because the best of times is now, is now, is now, is now, is now, it's now. It is. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Thank you. Bye.